So the other day, by happenstance, I happened to walk down into the EB Games, or as it's now officially known as the GameStop, and I saw this 2-pack Marvel Legends that I was looking for. I said, okay, pick that up. It's quite hefty of a price, especially over here in the world of Canada where everything costs like $50 more than it probably should. And then sure enough, as I was paying, I saw this little box. And I was like, huh. And not too long ago, I was like, that would be a fun prop for a video. Didn't think I'd buy it, but I bought it. It's cute. It's definitely not worth the price, I can tell you that much. We'll talk about that too. I brought it home, and I had a hell of a time with it. In fact, I didn't even get to put lights and sounds into it until the next day, and that was real fun to do. Now, I'm not a tool man. I'm not good with handy tools or anything like that, so you just gotta see that little tab there? I felt like this was way easier to do beforehand. There we go. And this is where the battery pack is. Now, if you're stupid like me, this is going to take you a very hard time to do, and you can see all like the scratching and stuff around there. Don't just take a screwdriver and just shove around in there. You're going to break something. The problem with it, though, is the fact that it doesn't really feel super premium. This does not feel like a premium product. This feels like slightly higher end than like a child's collectible, which is probably not a good thing when you're paying these prices. I mean, it was about 120, 30, 40, 50, 70, something like that dollars. There's a lot of money to be paying for something like this. But there are things to talk about and things to enjoy. For instance, light and sounds. It does light and sounds. Now, the sound effects aren't, from what I remember, 100% accurate to the movies. It doesn't really sound like it. And it's mainly just this one. It's pretty badass. I wish it stayed on for a couple more seconds. In fact, I remember when I first did it, it would stay on for a couple more seconds, but now it's kind of... And that seems to be the only one. There are other ones, but if you press some... Same sound. Same sound. Same sound. Okay. Wait. Okay, I feel like I've done this before, and it's done different sounds before. What the frick? Okay. So it has a couple sound effects. I like that. The stones aren't exactly what I would call premium either. They look like kind of Jolly Ranchers, but very appetizing looking. They've got little magnets at the bottom there, so you can easily stick those onto the gauntlet, and the whole thing is magnetized. And the nice thing is that they're all different shapes. And well, they're not all different shapes, but they're all different like textures, which is very good. And they all have a little unique little shape at the bottom there that is very much for a specific connector. So you're not going to be getting any of these mixed up, thankfully. So we got your boy Gauntlet, and we're going to put these in as quickly as we can. And that actually stays glowing, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. It looks a little better in person, too. Damn it, it turned off. It always turns off right before. And sure enough, yeah. It should be staying glowing for majority of the time. But now it's not doing it. It seems to be having some issues here. But then, you get them all in. It's kind of badass. It's got good range, not the best. It's got a little rubber piece down here, so when you're hitting that back down, it's not going to like do too much damage, thankfully. The fingers are rubber, and say what you... I know some people have very indifferent opinions about it. This is kind of the best way you could have gone about doing it, in my opinion. It's a good alternative. Unfortunately, this was definitely made for like a skinnier person's arm. This caused a lot of personal pains for my arm. The fingers kind of scratch At least the thumb area, I always get a mark whenever I pull it out. It's not very friendly for doing that, especially if you have like a muscle there. You can get good range. Again, my fingers aren't the longest or the skinniest, so you can't really get it into like a fist pose. That's about as good as you can do. You do that, obviously. That's kind of the main feature. And then snapping works okay. There isn't really like a satisfying snap. You're just kind of... And because they didn't want you to have to touch this while you're snapping, they link the movement of the thumb to the snap. It makes sense. It can be a bit annoying just when you want to move around your fingers. It happens every time. And honestly, that's about it for this gauntlet. There ain't too much else to talk about. The red is nice, the gold is nice, the gunmetal's nice. A little big. I don't think this is exactly accurate to the Iron Man, but it could be. I don't know. It looks cool enough. It's a nice shelf piece. Definitely, probably, it feels cheap in areas, like with the scratching and the screw holes. Doesn't exactly feel like the most premium product you can buy. I'm not really big into these roleplay items that Hasbro likes to do, but you know what? It's cool. If you're interested, probably best to wait till it eventually, inevitably drops down in price. Just wait for it. It's not worth it. I want to thank you all for being very patient for new videos. They're coming. It's taken me a while to work on them, but just know that they're coming and I'm working. Hopefully you'll enjoy what's coming soon, and I know you'll be happy for what's coming eventually, inevitably. Thank you all for watching my little juggernauts. I'll see y'all in the next video. That's not loud at all. Ah!